Richmond International Raceway is the next stop on the NRSL Advocare Truck Series. We are set for racing here on this 3/4 mile D-shaped oval, and it's the first of three races. Three races in this Richmond weekend. It's a truck, Male Yellow, and Cup triple header. As we are here today for Toyota Racing Weekend, it's the Toyota Care 200. As we're set for 40 laps of action here today, and here's the starting line for today's running of the event. On the pole for the number 1 Die Hard Chevrolet, it is Dylan Young, qualifying rained out of course, so we will get to set him by number here today. Alongside of him will be Zach Flickinger, the winner at Daytona, and the Team ASE certified Ford. Second row has Cole Deaver, number 3, the GM Goodwrench Chevrolet, and beside him, Jessica Shelton, number 4, the Team ASE certified Ford. Third row has Kyle Matthews, winner at Milwaukee this season, in the DuPont Chevrolet number 5. Beside him will be number 6, Jordan Anderson, in the Total Chevrolet. Fourth row has Joshua Sakuli, truck number 7, the Exide Barrios Ford. His win came at Texas this season. And Ryan George is on the outside in the GM Goodwrench Chevrolet number 8. Fifth row has the 06 Ultra Wheels Ford of Paul Minnick. And the California winner in the Zaxby's Chicken Ford number 09, it's John Arndt. Row 6 has Andrew Davis, number 14, the Milwaukee Ford. And Joshua Osborne's on the outside in the Linex Ford number 15. Next row down has Charles Sanford, one of our in-truck cameras in today's event, in the Papa John Chevrolet number 16. He and Jessica Shelton and Kyle Matthews will be carrying the camera today. Jonathan Zorn sits outside number 17, the GMAC Chevrolet. Then it's Chris Dodd, who won at Pocono this season, the Pennzoil Chevrolet number 18. Flanking him outside will be number 20, the MBNA Chevrolet of Matt Haas. Then it's JT Bryant, number 21, the Ortho Lawn and Garden Ford, and beside him will be Johnny Gardner, number 22, in the Miller Ford. Next row down has Benjamin Miles in the Toyota Certified Toyota, number 23. Beside him will be Kev Shear, number 24, the Quaker State Chevrolet. His win came at Sonoma. William Brock starts in the inside in the next row down, number 25, the Budweiser Chevrolet, and the championship leader, Keith Batson, number 28, the Napa United Ford. Team Mopar has the next row down here. Both of them are Mopar trucks. 29, Chelsea Bowles in the Team Mopar Dodge. She won the second stop in the Tour at She won at Michigan this season. Flanking her outside will be Nathan Hudson, number 30, the Team Mopar Dodge. Then it's Phil Parker, number 38, the Channel Lock Pliers Ford, and beside him will be Joshua Coward, number 43, the Dodge Dealers Dodge. Next row down is Quentin Moore, number 44, the Federated Auto Parts Ford. Flanking him outside will be the winner at Rockingham, Kat Tellier, number 50, the Granger Ford. Next row down has Seth Cole, number 52, the AC Delco Chevrolet. He won at Watkins Glen this season. And beside him will be Zachary Fitzwater, number 59, the Kingsford Charcoal Dodge. Next row down has Michael Turner, number 60, the Cat Rental Star Chevrolet. And number 75, the Spears Manufacturing Chevrolet of Kyle Lynch. He won at Nashville this season. Then it's the Charlotte winner. It's Jesse Turner, number 83, the Mission Uniforms and Linen Services Chevrolet. And beside him will be the number 86 of Alex Gray in the Royal Crown Royal Crown Dodge, excuse me. Next row down has Dougie Shears, Super Shears, number 87, the Bell's Mobility Chevrolet. Flanking him outside will be the number 94 Super 8 Motel Ford of J.R. Tellier. And starting scratch on the field will be number 98 Matt McIntyre, the number Revistas Brakes Ford, and the other McIntyre, the more known of the bunch, Levi McIntyre, number 99 XMR's SKF Ford. And by the way, Matt and Levi are not related, by the way, in case any of y'all are wondering. So 40 laps of distance here today. Here, Keith Batson has a big points lead coming into this event after the last stop for the trucks at Bristol Motor Speedway. So we'll see what happens here for 40 laps at Richmond. And here's the command to fire them up.
Driver, start your engine.
Command's getting the fire engines as we get some racing here for 40 laps. A Chevrolet Ford front row here, and boy, Always fun when you got that. Actually, Chevrolet and Ford actually on the front 2 rows, actually. To be honest here. Dylan Young has yet to win the season in the Sears Die Hard Ford or Chevrolet, and he hopes to pull one off here today. Then you got Chevy Ford second row with Deaver and Shelton, and you got an all Chevy third row with Matthews and Anderson. So I'm interested to see how this night plays out here at Richmond. 40 laps of distance for this race, 40 laps for the Mellow Yellow Series race, and 60 laps for the Castrol GTX Cup Series event for the Toyota Care 400. As the field rounds for green flag racing here, and here we go. We are underway here at Richmond. Cole Deaver looks inside of Dylan Young, tucks back in line as they come out of turn number 2. Clean start here so far. Lap 1 completed. Dylan Young is your leader. Second is Cole Deaver. Battle for third between Joshua Sekuli and Kyle Matthews. Matthews has to back off the throttle just a little bit. That was the spectator view right there. As Matthews now caught on the high side. Sekuli will take third. Minnick will go to fourth. And here comes a surprise here. Andrew Davis, number 14. He's up the 5th position in the 14 for Wolfpack Redneck Racing. And now Davis moves up the track here. Charles Sanford will go inside. Chris Dodd will follow suit, number 18. On board, Charles Sanford's truck. Sanford coming in top 10 in the points as well this season. Has yet to win, though, in the truck series, but has had some great runs here so far. He had a great run at Bristol, the last stop on the tour. Now working on Paul Minnick for the number 3 position as they go into turn number 1 here. Minnick gets a little loose through turns 1 and 2. Chris Dodd goes 5th position, battle for 6 here. JT Bryan trying to take away from Joshua Sekuli, still on the high side. William Brock now moving his way through the field, and so is Chelsea Bowles in 29. She's worked her way through the field so far, and so too is the 38 of Phil Parker. So several drivers from about the middle of the pack here actually working their way to the top 10 right now. Phil Parker, a real dark horse in the series thus far. And it's been very solid, though. Some finishes do not reflect that, but both in this series and in the Mellow Yellow series, he's been very, very solid. And several of our front rows and several of our right up there starters actually are going back in the pack here. Kyle Matthews is still dropping back in that 5 truck. You can imagine how frustrated he's got to be at the moment here, and Matthews, there he is on the high side. You're on board with Matthews right now, running behind Benjamin Miles in 23. Trying about to put the bumper to him in that number 23 truck, and now he's in the middle of 3 wide here, and he got way loose. He had to get off the gases a little bit. And now still caught on the high side, and that was Zach Flickinger to the inside, number 2, and the 4 of Jessica Shelton as well. Now you're on board with Jessica Shelton, number 4. As now she gets loose and moves to the high side. Keith Batson goes by, so too does Nathan Hudson. Shelton now dropping to the 25th position. She started this race 4th. Proves the outside lane is not where you want to be at Richmond. Now Zorlan goes by, and so too does the 24 of Kev Shearer, the winner at Sonoma this season. Several trucks getting way loose on the high side of the track. And John Arndt real close to that back bumper, that number 8 truck of Ryan George. And a change for a lead. Cole Deaver goes to the number 1 spot. Number 3, the GM Goodwrench Chevrolet takes the number 1 position as he has now pulled away from Chris Dodd. Dylan Young's dropped to 3rd. Charles Sanford stays 4th. And 5th is still Chelsea Bowles in 29. Excuse me. And we got several back of the pack starters, and in fact, two in particular. Jesse Turner's now up to the 9th position after starting this race. I think he started back in about 33rd is where he started. And Matt McIntyre started 37th. He's now up to 10th in the field. We'll make that possibly about the 12th there in this. And this man, Levi McIntyre, started 38th. He's at the 12th. So those three drivers working through the field, working up through the field really well here. So too is 86 Alex Gray, 59 Fitzwater, Kyle Lynch in 75. We all got really fast trucks here today and it could be contenders here in the end. As now Levi gets by Matt as they go down through turn number 2. That puts Levi up to 11th position. Now working on Phil Parker for 10th. Jesse Turner and Charles Sanford battling up through the field here. Sanford running 7th at the moment. On board Charles Sanford's truck. And that's the rear bumper cam from the Papa John's Chevrolet. And Jesse Turner all over that back bumper. And here, whoa! Jesse Turner putting the bumper to Sanford and just about turn him around, coming out of turn number 2. Wow! Sanford finally slides up the racetrack and says, okay, you're much faster than I am, so take the spot. And Jesse Turner says, much obliged, and he does take the spot from Sanford. Now Sanford loses another one to Phil Parker in 38. As we said, Phil Parker has been very, very strong. This has been very, very solid, both in this series and in the Mellow Yellow series as well. So now he works on the 83 of Jesse Turner. As we go back to the front of the pack here, there's Paul Minnick getting by Chelsea Bowles. Minnick up to the 5th position, number 06, the Ultra Wheels Ford. It's a 95 Ford he's driving. And another 95 Ford up ahead, that's Joshua Sakuli in number 7. Battle for second happening here. Chris Dodd versus Dylan Young. Dodd in the Pennzoil Chevy and the number 1 of Dylan Young in the Sears Die Hard Chevy. And now they've closed up on the leader, Cole Deaver, in number 3 as they go down through turns 3 and 4. Whoa! And Dodd gets loose, moves up the track here. Now Dylan Young pulls up alongside. Now they're side by side through turns 1 and 2. As we are actually past halfway now, 22 will be in the books, and 18 will be the left in this race as they cross the start-finish line. Dylan Young, number 1, the Sears Die Hard Chevrolet. He was the pole sitter for the event. Cole Deaver started his race in 3rd position at number 3. And a couple of new players here. Levi McIntyre up now in the 9th position, and Zachary Fitzwater taking 10th. So Fitzy having a real good run, the Flying Aussie as he is known. And Jesse Turner losing a spot to Phil Parker. Parker up to the 6th position. Now he closes up on a 06 of Paul Minnick, and Dylan Young loses second again to Chris Dodd. Dodd and Young having a spirited battle. And where did Joshua Sakuli come from? Sakuli goes to 2nd spot as the yellow flag is now waved. And it looks like it's Johnny Gardner in 22 that spun. So caution number 1 flying on the 24th lap of this event. Well, apparently it wasn't Johnny Gardner, I don't think. So he was still Well, look, we're gonna look through here and see what happened. There's what happened. The 87 of Dougie Shears is spun. Coming out of turn number 2. That's usually Calamity Corner at Richmond is turn 2. And he gets turned by the 21 of JT Bryant. And the Shears goes to the inside. And good driving on the part of Dougie Shears that missed the inside retaining wall. Usually you get spun coming out of turn number 2, and usually you buy the inside retaining wall, and that's it for your day. But great driving for Dougie Shears in the 87. So first caution flag flies on lap 24 of the event, I believe. So, and that was so. So getting set for the restart, we will have 11 laps to go here in this event at Richmond International Raceway. Johnny Gardner will start inside of Cole Deaver now. We'll see what happens here. Lap traffic, as we said, can sometimes present a problem for the leaders, but I don't think it will possibly. We'll see what happens here. Cole Deaver will lead him down to start-finish line. It'll be on lap number 30. We have 11 laps to go at Richmond, and Deaver does get a good start on Gardner. And that was what Cole needed to see right there. A lap truck car, lap truck between he and the second-place driver of Joshua Sakuli. But Sakuli's in a mess himself, as he has got Chris Dodd behind him and a very hungry Dylan Young. He has got the shot from the 06 of Paul Minnick to the inside lane. That's for third spot. And now Jesse Turner goes by Phil Parker, and that's going to be for the 6th position, I believe. And Gardner pulls up in the back bumper of Deaver, and that's a lap truck right there. He's racing. Gardner wants to finish on the lead lap, obviously. Gardner dead last at the moment in 38th position, but he is not running like he's dead last at the moment. He's running like, come on, let me back on the lead lap here. And Chris Dodd has now gone to the back of the pack here, and Charles Sanford hung up in the high side as well. You're riding with Charles Sanford, number 16. Running behind Phil Parker and Kyle Lynch at the moment here, as now Sanford finds his way back to the inside lane. Now Levi McIntyre's now caught up in the high side, and here comes Sanford inside of Phil Parker as we are now down to 7 laps to go. Sanford still on the inside lane, trying to gain back what he lost as they go down through turns 3 and 4. Now Fitzwater takes a spot from Chris Dodd, and that moves Fitzwater up to 6th position. But that was the break Cole Deaver needed to see right there. Was Johnny Gardner squeezing between he and the second place driver of Joshua Sakuli. As Sakuli is now saying, "Come on, Gardner, let me by," and Gardner gives him room, or doesn't he? Gives him room? Yeah, he does now. So Sakuli will get by Gardner now. Sakuli's got his sights set on that 3 of Cole Deaver. Let's see what happens in the last 4 laps of the event. Sakuli that time by his last lap was 1:25.11, and Deaver was 1:25.40. So Deaver, obviously by lap traffic though, has got the faster lap though. But let's see what happens. Let's see who has got the fastest lap this time by. And Sakuli is closing in that 7 machine. Let's see what happens this time by. The lap speeds: Deaver 1:24.73, and Sakuli was 1:25.67. So So Joshua Sakuli is close, and he can make a race out of this. He still can make a race out of this just yet. Let's see what happens. It will be 2 laps to go this time by. Chevrolet in first, Ford in second. We started this race Ford, Chevy on the front row, and we have a finish between Ford and Chevy. As they come out corner number 2, the white flag wastes this time by. Sakuli still trying to close. As it going to turn number 3, Deaver just trying to stay smooth through this racetrack here. The white flag waves. 1 to go. Will it be Deaver or will it be Sakuli? Sakuli only closed up 2 hours that time by. That's not going to cut it. But Sakuli gets a real run to turn number 2. Off turn number 2. They come. What's going to happen in the third turn now? Sakuli drives it deep. But it's not going to be enough. Off corner number 4, they come. Cole Deaver wins the Toyota Care 200 at Richmond. Cole Deaver, number 3, the GM Goodwrench Chevrolet, goes to victory lane as he takes the Dale Earnhardt colors to the winner's circle here at Richmond International Raceway. Joshua Sakuli gave him all he wanted and then some in that last couple of laps, but ends up finishing second. Paul Minnick third. Jesse Turner, a great day in 4th position. 5th will go to Zachary Fitzwater. Chris Dodd 6th. Kyle Lynch 7th. 8th was Nathan Hudson. Levi McIntyre 9th. And Chelsea Bowles comes home in 10th position. Average speed of 105.391. A great finish here today at Richmond. So 20 races are in the books here in the Advocare Truck Series. As we have got, let's see, 6 races left to go in the season, obviously. So the battle for the championship, and you'll see the points at the end of this video here for the battle for the championship. As we'll go on the road course at Heartland Park, Topeka next on the tour. That's going to be the new road course we're going to be trying out in NR competition. Something that's never been tried in NRSL or the NRSCRA. Excuse me. So we'll see if that course is a hit or miss deal. Anyway. So Cole Deaver wins the race. Wins the race here today here, and we'll give you the rest of the finishing order here. Ryan George, we haven't talked about him at all today, comes on an 11th spot. A great day for him. Dylan Young falls to 12th. 13th was Jonathan Sorlin. John Arndt recovers from a bad start to finish 14th. 15th position was Matt Haas. 16th was Joshua Osborne. Kyle Matthews dropped to 17th. Quentin Moore 18th. Jordan Anderson 19th. And Phil Parker, who was up there for almost all of this race, he ends up dropping to 20th. Matt McIntyre 21st. Point leader Keith Batson 22nd. Charles Sanford, who was also up there most of this race, he ends up finishing 23rd. So that's going to hurt Sanford in the points-wise, and we'll see how much that cuts into Batson's lead, possibly. We'll see. Anyway, JT Bryant comes home 24th. Joshua Collard 25th. Seth Cole 26th. J.R. Tellier 27th. 28th was Alex Gray. Andrew Davis 29th. Michael Turner 30th. William Brock 31st. Dougie Shears 32nd. Kat Tellier 33rd. Benjamin Miles 34th. Zach Flickinger 35th. Jessica Shelton, a bad day for her, 36th. And ditto for Kev Sheeran 37th. And ditto for Johnny Gardner, though. Only truck a lap down. He ends up in the caboose of the field in 38th. But he did here, but he helped Cole Deaver out a lot on that one in these final 10 laps as Cole Deaver again wins today in the Toyota Care 200 as he takes home yet another victory here in the Truck Series. So as we head to Heartland Park, Topeka for the next stop on the tour, for the running of the AC Delco Heartland 170, for the running of the AC Delco Heartland 175. That's going to be the next stop on the tour. Yeah. Anyway, this is James Clausen. It's been a production of the NRSL, and we'll see you next time here. We'll see you for the Melly Auto Series event here at Richmond.
Greg, did you have any problem.